Hello and welcome back to another episode. In this video I'm gonna show you my game room in the year 2020. Now I've already made two game room tour videos before. The first one was in 2011 and the second one was in 2014. And in the last year I've got more and more requests from my viewers that they wanted to see another game room tour. So I've decided to make this one, so it is the reason why I make this video, because of my viewers. Before we start this video, I want to talk about a couple of things. There are 4 points that I wanted to mention, but if you want to skip all my rambling, then you can go to this point in the timeline and enjoy this video. Okay. Otherwise we start now with point one. Point one that I wanted to mention is that I collect now since the year 2002. So in the end I do this hobby now for 18 years. And back in the days I will not say that it was a lot easier to find all this stuff, because it depended on the stuff that you wanna collect. But it was a lot cheaper than today. Today it has become mainstream and everybody charges a lot of money for those video games and consoles and everything, but back in the days it was definitely cheaper. But keep that in mind that I do this now for 18 years. That's the reason why I have a lot of stuff in my game room. Point number 2 that I wanted to mention is that in this video I'm gonna show you, like I said, my game room, and this is about 90% of the stuff that I have in my collection. Things that I'm not gonna show you are, for instance, in my living room I have a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 3, a PlayStation 2, a Microsoft Xbox, the first one, and also a Nintendo Wii. And I also have all my PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 and my few Nintendo Wii games in there. Then also there's a few things in the room of Mara. Mara is my better half. And I also have some stuff stored otherwhere in my home. For instance, I have 5 old PCs, 2 laptops and 3 mini towers, which are stored safely somewhere in my home. And also in the attic upstairs I have a couple of boxes from consoles. I have about 2000 floppy disks, mostly from Commodore Amiga, and also a few for the PC-DOS actually, and those are what we call safety copies, so it's nothing that a collector is actually proud of. But in the end, when I started collecting and everything, I bought a couple of Amiga 500 computers, and every Amiga 500 computer came with some boxes of safety copies. That's why I have a lot of them. So yeah, this is that's what I wanted to mention about my game room. Like I said, 90% is in here about of my video game collection. Point number 3, my collection consists out of, I give you now some numbers. I have 85 handheld and tabletop games, 13 plug and play and Pong consoles. I have 10 computers, 44 consoles and 14 handheld systems. Now in this list I included also different models of the same system. So like for instance Neo2ct Model 1, Neo2ct Model 2 and Neo2ct CDZ, for instance. Those are 3 different models. What I haven't included in this list are any systems that I have double, broken systems, or systems that I have for spare parts, and I also didn't include different variations of the same model or the same system. Like for instance, what I also have is a Nintendo GameCube, the black one. I have a Nintendo GameCube, a silver one, and I also have Nintendo GameCube, the Resident Evil 4 edition. But in the end, this counts for me as one system or one console, because it's the same model, only in different colors, if you want to say it. And in terms of games, I have now about 2100 games, and I included only the games to this number which were officially released and sold. So the games that I didn't include in this list are, for instance, homebrew games, then of course the safety copies I didn't include, and I also didn't include any ROMs that I have, because for instance I have an original Xbox which is heavily modified with a bigger disk drive, and I bought this on eBay like this. I haven't modified it myself or anything, and on this system there are over 30 emulators on there, and according to the seller there are over 80,000 ROMs or video games on there. So in the end this doesn't count for me as a video game collector. Those are just ROMs, and yeah, that's the reason why I didn't include those games into my list, because otherwise I have, I guess, about 100,000 video games, but it doesn't count. So in the end I have official released video games about 2,100. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is video and audio quality in this video. Now for video quality, I'm using this camera that I bought last year, I guess, or was it 2 years ago? This one right here. It's nothing fancy or anything. It's a Panasonic HCV777. And yeah, for balancing I tried and tested just the hand camera, but in the end I decided to use something else. I'm gonna use this one right here. This is a Steadicam that I got as a present from Mara last year, and yeah, the problem with this thing is that I can't get it 100% balanced with this camera. So there will be some balancing issues in this video, but it's a lot better than using this camera just as a hand camera. But from time to time I actually have to switch from the steady camera to hand camera. So this is the reason why there is some balancing difference in this video. Just wanted to mention it. And when it comes to audio quality, I just wanted to have the best possible audio quality in this video that I can give you, and I tested a couple of microphones, also the built-in one, and in the end I decided to use this one, my Rode microphone. But in order to use it I had to build myself a chest harness. And if you see me in this video in some reflections, yeah, I look pretty dorky, and yeah, but in the end it worked, and I hope that the audio quality is pretty good in this video, but I just wanted to mention it. Okay, now this was all the stuff that I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's start it. Let's go. We're gonna start this room tour video right in front of my desk. This is my normal PC, and on this desk I watch all my YouTube videos, I edit also all my YouTube videos, and I record also some of my YouTube videos on this computer. It's nothing fancy, so let's continue. Right above here we have two Fallout advertising posters, let's call it like that, or advertising pictures. Those weren't official pictures or anything. Someone made them and sold them on eBay. Years ago I bought them. If we make a right, we continue here on the top. I have here a boxed Sega Drive Model 2. Then beneath here we have a boxed Master System Model 1. In this box I also included the 3D shutter glasses, which were available back in the days. Then here starts my NES collection, my boxed NES collection. Then beneath here we have the Lethal Enforcers Konami Justifier bundle, let's call it like that. This is the Konami Justifier and the game Lethal Enforcers here for the Super Nintendo, and here on the right this is the Mega CD, Sega Mega CD version of the same bundle. Then below here we continue with my NES collection. Again, the boxed NES collection here. For instance, it's there are PAL and also NTC games here. For instance, this is an American release, Mad Max. Then down here the rest of my boxed NES games. I'm very proud that I have this in my collection, Die Hard. This is yeah, it's almost completely mint condition. I got this, or I bought this last year, and yeah, sadly this is the only Castlevania game that I own, Simon's Quest. I need to get also the first Castlevania and maybe even Castlevania 3, Curse of Dracula, I guess it was called. Then here starts my Atari 2600 collection, the boxed collection at least. This is also rather new in my collection, James Bond. I bought this one, it's upside down. I bought this one last year. Here we continue. This is also one of my treasured favorites, or one of my treasures that I own, Alien, the game of the movie for the Atari 2600. More Atari 2600 games in box. And here we have also a very cool thing, Phaser Patrol with the supercharger. This was an accessory for the Atari 2600. Basically this is kind of a tape, it's a connector that allows you to connect this device to a tape player, and then you can play those tape games on the Atari 2600. So here are more Atari 2600 games, and on the bottom here we have a couple of consoles. Here we have a boxed Nintendo 64. This movie card is an accessory for the original PlayStation 1, and this one allows you to play video CDs on the PlayStation 1. Here we have the Model 1 of the Gamecom, Tiger Gamecom handheld. Then here below we have a boxed PC Engine Duo. Here we have the North American version, the Turbo Duo. I'm also very proud that I own this. This is one of my treasures in my collection. Here we have Mad Dog McCree, the Peacekeeper light gun, and the game for the Philips CDI. And here we have a boxed Crystal original Xbox console. Then we continue right here. Here we have the Action Max. This is kind of a plug and play. This is basically a light gun shooter game for your TV. Here we have the Aura Interactor, and another treasure of my collection, a boxed Vectrex console. This is the German version, and it's in mint condition. Now if we continue, here we have Steel Battalion, the second version with the blue buttons. Here we have the Justifier for the PlayStation 1 game gun. This is the light gun for the 3DO. Then here we have Resident Evil GameCube edition. This is the shovel controller for the PlayStation 1. A flight stick for the original Xbox. Donkey Konga Pack for the GameCube. Here we have the Hyperboy accessory for the Game Boy. Sorry, accessory for the original Game Boy. Laserscope accessory for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Barcode Battler. Here we have a flight stick for the 3DO. Game Track, this was an accessory for the PlayStation 2. Turbo Stick, this is arcade stick more or less for the TurboGrafx 16. Modern Warfare 2, the Prestige Edition with the night vision goggles. Here we have Kong Man. This is basically an electronic toy. This one actually belongs to my better half, to Mara. So here on the top we have the stealth scope light rifle and the sniper scope light rifle. Both light rifles for the original Xbox. The left one, the green one, is the light rifle that works on 50 Hz TVs, and the right one, the black one, also works on TVs with 100 Hz. Then here in this yellow bag I keep my Pioneer CLD A100 Laserdisc player, which combined with this one, this is the Sega Pack. With one of those packs you convert this Laserdisc player into the laser active video game system that allows me with this pack to play the Mega LD games of the laser active. It also allows me to play Sega Genesis games and also the American Sega Cd games. So now here we have Two Worlds, the Royal Edition game for the Xbox 360. Here we have the light pen for the Vectrex, the Maestro Music controller for the PlayStation 1. Here we have a TurboGrafx 16 inbox. Then here, wait a minute, I'm gonna make some light. Also I have a flashlight with me for some darker places. Here we have King Kong in New York. This is a handheld game. The Ultimate Super Stick, also an arcade stick for the TurboGrafx 16. This is Fight of the Titan. This is a tabletop game. It's basically the tabletop game of Clash of the Titans, of the movie. Here, yeah, this is another accessory for the PlayStation 2 from Game Track. Here we have Top Shot Pilot, another tabletop game. A Neo2ct CDC, complete in box. Atari Jaguar CD-ROM drive, also complete in box. Heroes of Might and Magic, the complete edition. This one right here, this one, the TurboGrafx, this is the PAL version that was never officially released. And behind it is the keyboard controller for the Philips CDI. Then down here we have the Danger Dago train controller for the PlayStation 1, Tommy Racing, another tabletop game. Here on the back we have the trackball and the mouse controller for the Philips CDI. Here we have Sega Mega CD Model 1, and on the bottom here we have an original, first version of the PC Engine complete in box. Then here we have the Philips, the 3DO FC1 complete in box, UK edition. Sanyo Tri 3DO video console complete in box, was only released in Japan. And here we have a Gold Star 3DO, also UK edition. And those are the Mega LD games for the Laser Active. I have to turn it around. Yeah. Those are those Laserdisc games. I also have one which is normally for the NEC pack. Those are the LD-ROM games. Manhattan Requiem, I guess it is. Yep, Manhattan Requiem. And I have a couple of those. Triad Stone? I guess this is Triad Stone. And also, yeah. Of course, I also have to show one of those, Virtual Cameraman. Okay. Oh, and there is... this is even cooler. This is an LP, Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. But I actually wanted to show you this, my only Laserdisc that I own, The Shadow with Alec Baldwin. Cool movie. Okay, now we continue with my PlayStation 2 collection. A lot of SingStars, because there was a time when me and Mara we played a lot of SingStars, and also Buzz. There are a couple of Buzz quiz games. Gonna change now the position of the Steadicam. Wow! Yeah, more PlayStation 2 games. I'm sorry for all the balancing issues that I have right now with this Steadicam. Okay, then here on the top we have the 3DO mouse controller complete in box, one Vectrex extra controller complete in box, and here we have a 3DO controller complete in box. Then below here we have my Atari Jaguar games. It's not a huge collection, but maybe someday I'm going to continue with my Atari Jaguar collection and buy some more. Yeah, here we have Highlander, one of those Jaguar CD games, and here are more of my CD games that I have. I don't have a lot of Blue Lightning, Video Grid, yeah, Brain Dead 13 starring Fritz, and here's my wow. Sorry. Here starts my Vectrex collection. I don't have a complete collection. This is one of those few consoles where I would love to have a complete collection, but yeah, it's not gonna happen because I miss the rest of the 3D games that were available. Also, I don't have the 3D glasses. But except for this, for those games, the rest is complete. Except, of course, all those games that were later made, homemade videos. Then here we have one of my tube TVs. It's nothing fancy. It's a 50 Hertz 20 inch yeah, tube TVs. This is actually the very first TV that I personally owned. I had TVs before that, but in the end this was the very first TV that actually belonged to me. Before we continue with those drawers and everything, let's continue here with my original Xbox collection. Sadly, I can't go over every game and tell you a story because this, yeah, then this video would be about 80 hours or so long. So in some cases I'm gonna keep it brief. Yeah, and here starts my Nintendo GameCube collection. Also, my GameCube collection is pretty small, but there are some pretty cool games as well here. Okay, now we continue with the drawers. In the first drawer, let's make it like this. There are many of my boxed yeah, games for handheld systems. Here on the right, I'm gonna make this like this. We have, it's too much. We have Atari Lynx games. Then here we have Gameboy Advanced games. Those are my boxed Virtual Boy games. There's even a Nintendo GameCube. Yeah, memory card here boxed. Those two also belong to the Atari Lynx collection. Those are my only 5 Game Gear games that I have boxed. Those are light gun games for the Commodore Amiga, and those are the long boxed games for the Amiga CD32 of Impossible Mission 2025, and this must be Gunship 2000, I guess. Gunship 2000, yes. It must be Gunship 2000. And those are small box Amiga 500 games. Silkworm, for instance. Here we have Wings of Fury, and so on and so on. Terrakin 2. Cool classics. Here we have the Odama game and controller for the Nintendo GameCube. And now let's continue with the second drawer. In here I have my boxed Super Nintendo games and the few Nintendo 64 games that I have. Super Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, F1 World Grand Prix, Star Wars Rebel Assault, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, so GoldenEye of course, and here I have a boxed expansion pack, the RAM expansion for the Nintendo 64. Here are my boxed TurboGrafx 16 games, the only ones that I have, but still pretty cool, I guess. Here are some more Super Nintendo games. Rocketeer, cool. Wing Commander, of course, I'm a huge fan of the Wing Commander series. Outlander, yes! And here on this side, those are my Game Boy Color games, and those are the original Game Boy games that I have, not a whole lot. And here in the back, yeah, we have some more, or we have some 3DO games, but those are, yeah, French versions and Japanese versions of games, or demo CDs, and here are bus games from the PlayStation 2, nothing too fancy or anything. Next drawer, here are all kinds of controllers, light guns, yeah, like I said, a huge lot of controllers. Those are, for instance, Justifier for, which one is this one? This is for the, this is the Sega Justifier light gun. There must be, this one must be the Super Nintendo one, and the pink one, this is the second controller of the Justifier gun, because you have to connect the second one to the first one in here. And the funny thing is that even though Nintendo and Sega released the second light gun in their own boxes, in the end it's the same light gun. So if you have the Super Nintendo one, you can also use it on the Sega system and also otherwise, because it's the same connector, and except this is the connector that goes in here, and yeah, the only difference is the package or the box. Okay, this was the third drawer. Sorry, oops. Have to make sure that it also closes. And here on the bottom are more controllers. CD32, for instance, Atari Jaguar, Atari 2600, also CD32, joystick. I guess this is also, this must be the joystick for the Super Nintendo, or was it for the original Nintendo? Super Nintendo. Joystick for the Super Nintendo. A zapper on the bottom, 3DO controller, Turbo Duo controller, and so on and so on. Okay, now we continue on this side. Here we have my Dreamcast collection. Blue Stinger. More Eco. Shenmue. And House of the Dead 2. Yeah. Here starts my CD32 collection. And here ends my CD32 collection. I mean, one of the coolest games in my opinion is actually this one right here. It's a game that I played on many systems, Defender of the Crown, but this is Defender of the Crown 2. This is basically the ultimate edition that was released on the Amiga CD32. Here starts my CD-TV collection. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, also sorry for those. If you hear something, because I just hit the shelf with the microphone. Yeah, here ends also my CD-TV collection, and here starts my CDI collection. Let's go down here. And more CDI games. Ah, God. Yeah, I don't know if you can really read any of this stuff, but yeah, this is my CDI collection. Here on the bottom I have some small box CD-ROM games for the PC, nothing too fancy, and here starts my 3DO collection. Guess we don't need this anymore. It's pretty cool, for instance, Star Control. Oh yeah, Snow Jaw. I guess we don't need it. Yeah, and this is basically, here stops my 3DO collection, but this is only those are the small box games. What is this? Oh, Lucian's Quest. But this was not what I was looking for. This was actually what I was looking for. Woody Woodpecker 3DO movie. Escape from Monster Manor. Yeah, here starts my Mega CD collection. And we continue here. And now, whoops, sorry. This is also pretty cool. It's nothing to collect for, but I got those, I guess, 2 years ago. Those are games that were never released on the CD32. Those are Amiga games which were basically converted to work on the Amiga CD32. There's the Turrican Anthology. Then here I have Shadow Dancer. This is one of my favorites, of course. If you know my channel and the videos that I make, Moonstone, A Hard Day's Work. Like I said, it's nothing fancy or anything. Those are not original games that were released for the CD32, but I think they are pretty cool. And I'm proud to have those copies in my collection. So here are some more Sega CD games, or Mega CD games. Actually, those are the PAL games. Surgical Strike, I'm very proud that I own this because this is still sealed. So here are some more Mega CD games and some more. And again, I touched the TV now with my microphone, so I hope there are no distortions or anything. So here starts my 3DO big box collection. This is also one collection that I'm really proud of, and basically it's one of my favorite games to one of my favorite consoles to collect for. That's why I have a lot of games for this system, and I try to get as many big box games as possible for this system because I like it so much. Yeah, some more Shockwave, Return Fire with the Maps of Death. It looks terrible, but it's still sealed. But this is because of the sealed air that's inside that wraps the paper of the box, or the cardboard actually. Sure, sorry. So here, yeah, Wolfenstein 3D, of course. Quarantine, also a very cool game. And yeah, Shadow War of Succession, one of the worst fighting games that you can ever find and play. So here are some more 3DO games. Wow. And here on the bottom some more. Gonna change the position. Oops, sorry. And here on the bottom is some more. And I still have some room left, so maybe in the future I'm able to get some more 3DO games for my collection. Then here on this desk, yeah, it's nothing fancy, it's just a normal flat screen TV. This is a 21-inch screen TV. This is where I record also a lot of my video gameplay videos. Here in the back we have an Elgato 4K S60 Plus, I guess it's called, and down here is the old, here in the back, it's the old Elgato HD60 that I use. Here is my small Commodore 64 big box collection. I don't have that many games for the Commodore 64. Most of those games in big box are the floppy disk versions, but there are a few dataset cassette versions of the game, like this one right here, Lord of the Rings. Those are just the dataset cassette games. Great. Sorry. Maybe like this. Oh, no, it fits. Okay. Then, yeah, here I keep most of the cables and also most of my power supplies that I have. In the end, I labeled all of those, and it says here on the bottom, power supplies Sega, all kinds of power supplies, Xbox and PlayStation cables, computer and other cables, power supply Nintendo, power supply and cables for Neo Geo, Sega and Nintendo other cables, and yeah, this is basically also all kinds of cables, SCART, Ginge and S-Video. Okay, then here we have something interesting. This is my certificate of world domination. I own the world now for, I guess, 5-6 years or so. Yeah, I hadn't had time to do anything with the world. It still works, it needs some fixing, it's also pretty dirty, so it also needs a lot of cleaning. Yeah, maybe I do something in a couple of years, or maybe I'm gonna resell it on eBay. So here, this is an old painting of mine from Captain Harlock, an anime that I loved as a child and that I still like today. Here we have a 3D picture of Zelda/Link. Then down here we have a showcase with some of my tabletop and handheld games. Here we have Saxon, Donkey Kong. Down here we have two mini arcades, Arcade Attack and Mini Arcade. It's a racing game. Here those are mechanical handheld games from Tomy. They don't need a battery or anything. You have to wind up those dials and then you can play them. Pretty cool. Especially for me, it's a pretty cool idea that they came up with. So here we have some more handheld and tabletop games, and here on the bottom are two tabletop games and a Spider-Man plug and play. So here we continue on the top. I'm gonna, yeah, keep it like here. Whoop, sorry, the Steadicam. This is the light gun that, this is the Commodore Amiga light gun that was released. This one right here, this is a collectible toy from the anime Galaxy Express 999. It also has, I don't know the story or anything, but in the end it's related to Captain Harlock. That's why this was so important to me, and this is the Captain Harlock blaster. That's the main reason why I bought this back in the days. Here we have the game Horned Owl combined with the Japanese version of the Konami Justifier. It's called Hyper Blast, and in the end this version has a dark blue. The color of the light gun is dark blue in this version, and the PAL and North American version of the Justifier is light green. So this was also one of the main reasons why I bought this. Here we have boxed PC game Kingdom of Magic, Law of the West and Friday the 13th, both Commodore 64 games. This is my Commodore 64 dataset/tape games collection. Batman, Beverly Hills Cop, Aliens, Beachhead, classic, and those are some more. Zorro, Beachhead 1, also classic. Another classic, Samantha Fox Strip Poker. And as you can see, behind here, Monty Python's Search for the Holy Grail, I guess it's called, or Quest for the Holy Grail, sorry. There's another line of those dataset Commodore 64 games. Beneath here we have also two Commodore 64 games, Bard's Tale 3 and The Crack of Doom. This is the third game and the final chapter of Lord of the Rings. This is still sealed. Those are two of my three Famicom games. Those two are complete in box. Super Mario Bros. And Empire City 1931. And down here are my boxed Tiger Gamecom games that I have. And above here is my entire PlayStation 1 collection that I have. Most of them are PAL, but there are some NTC games and also some North American NTC games and also some Japanese games. For instance, here, this is the Christmas version of Maestro Music to play Christmas songs. This is Kenki something. This is a game that you can also play it with a regular PlayStation controller, but this is actually made for the shuffle controller that I showed you earlier. And here we have Cosmo Warrior Zero. This is also related to Captain Harlock, so this is the main reason why I have it. And here a classic Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but also some PAL classics. Not only PAL, they were also released in other countries as well, of course. Metal Gear Solid, but this is the special edition. So here, yeah, this is the Platinum edition of the normal game. Yeah, I also have this one right here, Wing Commander 3, Wing Commander 4, nothing too fancy or anything. Those are also some Japanese titles, Time Girl and Ninja Hayata, I guess it is called. Those are ports of old Laserdisc games from the arcade. If I'm not mistaken, this is Sexy Parodius, very popular shooter, which started on the PC Engine, if I'm not mistaken. Again, like this one, those are conversions from the arcade, from Laserdisc games, Thunderstorm and Road Blaster. Yeah, and yeah, some more cool games. Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, Survival, and of course the Medal of Honor series. Okay, let's continue. Here below we have an old Superman radio. This is I got this a long time ago from my better half, from Mara. Here we have an Xbox 360. There's no special reason why it stands there. It's just sitting there since my last video project that I did with an Xbox 360 video game. Down below here, in here I have most of the stuff that I need to repair or clean games and video game systems or anything. So this is some cleaning material, some soldering iron, some solder, so my soldering station. Here we have some capacitors. In here are also capacitors and wires and wire cutters. Then here we have mouse pads. There are maybe I can enlighten you or not. Okay. Yeah, here are mice inside, PC mice, Commodore Amiga mice, mice, whatever. Then here below, those are some of my video game magazines that I still own from back in the days. Those video game magazines are from the late 80s and early 90s. Most of them. Here for instance, Amiga Joker. This was a magazine that I loved back in the days, and me and my brother collected those. Then here we have, what have we here? This is an ISM, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. Here we have a power play, and so on and so on. Then also here I have some video game books. Here's the survival guide for Fallout 3. This is a collector's guide for handheld and tabletop games, which I also got from Mara. Here we have the Resident Evil Archives book, Guinness Book of World Records, the video game edition. Here's some console and computer books, joystick book, and here's some more stuff to clean or for cleaning. Then yeah, in those drawers there's nothing fancy or anything, just some more stuff that I need for repair. Here are some batteries, battery tester. This is a replacement plastic screen for the Game X, which I haven't replaced yet. Then down here, some more stuff, pliers and fuses, and some connectors are here, or adapters. This is actually cool. This is the adapter to play PC Engine games on the TurboGrafx 16 or also on a Turbo Duo. Then here we have some PlayStation 1 memory cards, some tools, special tools to open up cartridges, and also systems. Yeah, down below here, in this section right here, we have my headphones that I use mostly for the gameplay videos. Here are some external disk drives, hard disks, where I store many of my YouTube videos, and the rest is all for my camera. This is my spare camera, remote control, battery packs, and so on. Here we have a digital multimeter, some step-down converters, universal power supplies, and some more cables. Then we come to the next showcase. But we're gonna start here on the top with my Nintendo sign. Also, all my signs, I missed actually one here in the back. My TurboGrafx 16 sign. Those are not original official signs or anything. Again, like with the Fallout pictures, someone made those and sold them on eBay, and I bought them because I think they look pretty cool. So here we have some more tabletop games, Galaxian, Frogger. Down here we have Dracula and Astro Command. Then below here, Die Hard handheld game, some Tiger Electronics handheld games. In the back, again, a King Kong game. Yeah, and here we have two more tabletop games and one Star Wars Revenge of the Sith plug and play. And in this showcase right here, we start at the bottom. We have two plug and plays here on the right side. Here we have the Commodore 64 plug and play, Mortal Kombat plug and play, tabletop game, handheld game. Then here we have some Star Wars handheld games. And here, two of my precious tabletop games, Tron and Galaxy 2. And here are some more, Miss Pac-Man and Pac-Man. Now we continue to my Sega CD collection. Hope the Steadicam, yeah, okay, now it works. This is actually the Ninja Hayata game that I mentioned earlier from the PlayStation 1. This is the only port that was ever released for home console, Revenge of the Ninja it is called, and it was only released for the Sega CD. Except, of course, this one PlayStation 1 port. Okay, yeah, here, of course, Snatcher, I have to mention it. I have to show it, I'm sorry for everyone who's looking for this game. I also, yeah, looked a long time to get my hands on one of those versions. On one of those copies of this game. This is my small 32X collection. Those are the PAL versions, because I only have a PAL version of the 32X. Here starts my Mega Drive and Genesis collection. And here it continues. And now we come to my Master System collection. I don't have a lot of games for the Sega Master System, but maybe in the future I'm gonna continue buying for this system. Yeah, and here starts my Xbox 360 collection. I know it doesn't fit this area because you have all kinds of Sega stuff, and then you come with yeah, I continue with Microsoft, but in the end it stays now there. Maybe in the future I'm gonna rearrange my collection a little bit, so I'm sorry. Those are some more Xbox 360 games, and here on the bottom I have more Xbox 360 games, and I also have some special versions. Yeah, here we have the Prestige edition of Call of Duty Black Ops with the C4 RC car. Seen it, nothing special. You're in the movies, extremely nothing special. Okay, now we continue with the next showcase. On the top we have here my Sega sign. Sega or Sega. Yeah, in this showcase here are my Nintendo Game & Watch handheld and tabletop games. I'm glad that I also own a couple of those games complete in box. And here in the back you can't really see it. This one, the shiny one in the back, this is one of the Supervision Super Color Nintendo Game & Watch. This is Pitbull Sparky. So here we have a tabletop game, Donkey Kong Jr. and some more Nintendo Game & Watch games. And here, this one, yeah, this one, Toss Up. This was the very first Nintendo Game & Watch game, even though it wasn't released by Nintendo, if I'm correct. Now, wait, let's take a look. Don't know if I actually can read this. Oh no, it's made by Nintendo. I don't have all the data in my head anymore, because I made videos about those handheld games in the past. So basically the first release of those games were made in conjunction with Timeout, with the company Timeout, or was it? No, it was this right here. What does it? Wait a minute. I can't read it right now. But anyways, it was in conjunction with another company, and later on they released it. They released their games on their own. This one right here, this is the one from the Nintendo Club, which was released a lot later. This was the re-release in the year 2000 something. Okay, now continue. Here we have some more Nintendo Game & Watch games. Those are the only two that I have, panorama games. I had a third one, but I gave it to a viewer of mine because he gave me something back, and I'll tell you about this later on. Yeah, here we have Battlestar Galactica, Space Alert from Mattel Electronics, and here on this side we have Auto Race from Mattel Electronics. And this is also one of my proud possessions, because this is the very first electronic handheld game that was ever commercially released. So that's where all the handheld games started with. Yeah, and some more multi-screens from the Nintendo Game & Watch series. Yeah, here we have Firefox tabletop game. Then this one is just tennis, also a handheld game. Yeah, here we have Xonox double ender games for the Atari 2600, and here we also have some of those. And here we have some more handheld games, and those two, I got those two last year from a viewer of mine, Andreas. Thanks again for sending me those, because he had them double in his collection, so he thought I could use them. And here on the bottom is my Nintendo Virtual Boy and my small Tiger R-Zone collection. Those are the free versions of the Tiger R-Zone. This is a handheld console, if you would call it like that, or if you want to call it like that. This is the first model, the headgear unit. This is the third model. I have no idea what it's called. And here on the left side, this is the Super Screen. This is the second model of the Tiger R-Zone. And here in the back I have one boxed game for it. Okay. So here's my Neo Geo sign. Again, not an official sign or anything. Then here is my big second tube TV. This is actually a flat tube TV. As you can see, the screen is not warped or anything. It's flat, and this is 100. Whoops! Sorry. This is 100 hertz tube TV, and it has 26 inches. The size is 26 inches. Down below there's nothing fancy. That's yeah, we're not gonna spend a lot of time in here. Those are for the most part. Okay, my flashlight went out. Yeah, yeah, some boxes for PC stuff here. Elgato HD60, Logitech webcam, and some other stuff, and boxes for my PC and accessory for my PC. So I'm not gonna spend much time in here. Yeah, then here on the right side we have Boba Fett guarding my collection when I'm not home. Thank you. Gonna get you on this side now. So now we start at the bottom again, because here, down here, was no light. Here are some Philips CDI movies and also some video CDs. Then here starts my PSP collection. I don't have much games or a lot of games for the Sony PSP, even though I actually really like this handheld system. And now, yeah, here also starts some of the UMD videos or movies for the Sony PSP. And here we come to the adult section. Yeah, that I also have some UMD movies, and those are some PC adult stuff and also 3DO erotic stuff. So I'm gonna continue now with the rest before I get problems with YouTube. This is the CDI internet pack with the modem that you would need to go on the internet back in the days with the Philips CDI. Then here are some big box, or here starts my big box PC collection. Actually, here I have a still sealed Windows Miss Metaverse, yeah, some kind of a beauty contest, adventure, erotic adventure, I don't know. But yeah, let's continue with some more games. Die Hard, also huge Die Hard fan, so I try to collect all the Die Hard games that I can get my hand on. Of course, also a huge Alien fan, that's why I also have a lot of Alien games. The three parts of Lord of the Rings. And here on the bottom, Tomb Raider. Yeah. It's also something that you don't see every day. This is the action adventure, or you could also say the first person shooter of Dracula for the PC. Then we continue here. On the top I have here Guitar Heroes 2 for the PlayStation 2, and whoops, here I have Guitar Heroes 1 for the PlayStation 2. But here is my Wing Commander collection. I'm a huge fan of the Wing Commander series. Also, yeah, those are some other science fiction games or space games for the PC. Star Control, Deadly Tide, and so on. Here starts my Wing Commander collection, Wing Commander 1, Secret Mission 1 and 2 for the first game, Wing Commander 2, into two different versions with the Speech Pack, Special Operations 1 and 2, Wing Commander Armada, Wing Commander Prophecy. This is the CD-ROM version of Wing Commander 1 and 2 that includes all those extra stuff. Then here we have Wing Commander Armada, Wing Commander 3, Wing Commander 4, Wing Commander Prophecy, and Wing Commander Prophecy Gold, which includes the special missions or the extra content that was made back in the days. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the only version that you could get the extra missions on a physical disc, because they were available only online. Privateer 2 Darkening, and since I'm a huge Wing Commander fan, this is my Wing Commander Shrine. Here we have Privateer 2 The Darkening in the special edition with with Privateer, and also with this I don't know what you call it in English, patch I guess you call it, that you can sew on to your clothing. Then here we have the FM Towns version of Wing Commander. Now I don't have an FM Towns system. I never will own an FM Towns system because it's very special and pretty expensive, but I just wanted to have this one in my collection. It looks great, especially I like the cover, and also the stuff that came with the game. It's really high quality, the space charts and everything. And even though I can't play the game, I still can listen to the music. And for the very first Wing Commander game, they completely remade the soundtrack of the game full orchestral. it's very cool. You can check it out on YouTube. You can find a video about this version just with the music. It sounds amazing. Then here in the back is the special bundles edition for Wing Commander 3. Sadly, I own the UK version of this. This was also released in North America, also by us in Europe, in Austria and in Germany, for instance. And also the other version from Austria and Germany and in America, they had included, which the UK version doesn't, the soundtrack, a soundtrack CD of Wing Commander 3, which this one sadly is missing because it never came with this one. So it's sad to be me. Yeah, here we have Wing Commander Academy. This is the season 1. There was only one season ever made of this anime. Sadly, they were told back in the days in the video game magazines that this would also made its way to us, to Europe, in the German language, but it never came. So I had to buy this from America. Yeah, this is the strategy guide or player's guide for Privateer. Here we have the strategy guide for Wing Commander Prophecy, and this is Wing Commander the Kilrathi Saga. This was specially made to work on Windows 95. Yeah, then here we continue with all kinds of first-person shooters. A lot of those game boxes I got from another viewer of mine 5 years ago, I guess. If you're still watching, thank you, Victor, for for giving me all those big box PC boxes. Some of them also had games. I made a video 5 years ago, and he also gave me one of his Commodore 64 computers and some dataset / cassette drives. Yeah, some more. Diablo 2, Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2. Some more PC big box games. Interstate 76 is a really cool game. If you never have heard of it. So, and now we continue with my big box and small box games for the Commodore Amiga. I'm a huge Commodore Amiga fan, and it's one of the reasons why I also have a huge collection, or a big collection, let's not call it huge, a big collection of Commodore Amiga games. And this is also one of the main systems that I still collect for, if I have the time and the money. Classic, Moonstone, Apidia, Mad TV, great games, Street Road 1 and 2, awesome. One of my favorite shooters of all time, New York Warriors, of course, the Elvira series, Elvira 1, Elvira 2, The Jaws of Cerberus, Waxworks, the Lotus Trilogy, Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies, also classics. The Settlers, Battle Island, again Wing Commander. Oh yeah, very important. Covergirl Strip Poker and Covergirl Strip Poker, the Sports Edition. Sorry. Yeah, some racing games. And down here in the bottom, Syndicate, also great game. Okay. Then we come to this part of my collection. Yeah, here we have a boxed Commodore Amiga 500 in pretty good condition. Here we have the Darth Vader Master Replica lightsaber. Then this right here, this is called, if I'm not mistaken, Guitar Freaks. This was the predecessor of Guitar Heroes, which was only released in Japan with a guitar controller. And this is a plug and play, or an electronic toy if you want to call it, from Sega Video Driver. So in here on the top I have a lot of accessory, mostly disk drives. disk drives for floppy disk drives for the Commodore 64, expansion, RAM expansion, and hard disk for Commodore Amiga, dataset slash tape drive for the Commodore 64. This one and this one, I guess, I also got from Victor. Commodore Amiga extra, external floppy disk drive, CD TV floppy disk drive, and yeah, some more dataset tape drives in the back. Here we have an Atari 2600 Junior, MBO Teleball 3. This is a Pong console which was made in Germany. Atari 2600 Heavy Sixer, very first model. I also made a long time ago a video about this where I showed you when I got the system. It was very dirty and a little bit rusty and so on and so on, and I cleaned it, refurbished it, and made it work back again. And I also made a little this composite not hack, what you call it, upgrade. Here we have an Odyssey 2001, another Pong console, Model 1 of the Commodore 64. This one I also got from Victor, thanks again Victor. Commodore 64 Model 2. Then here we have an Amiga 500, Amiga 1200. This one I got also from Andreas, the one a viewer who gave me those two handheld games, and after he gave me those handheld games he said he had an extra, he just got recently an Amiga 1200 and it's in a lot better shape than the one that he had before, and this was the other one that he had before, and he asked me if I want to have it, and he wanted to give it to me as a present, or yeah, basically as a present, and that was the reason why I said, now come on, let's trade it. And I gave him my third Panorama Nintendo Game & Watch, the Popeye one, because he was missing that in his collection, so we made a trade in the end. Yeah, here we have Commodore CD TV. Then down here we have an original Xbox Crystal version, but this one is heavily modified. I use this one for a lot of my gameplay videos because this one has, according to the seller, over 90,000 games on it. There are, I guess, 40 emulators on it. There is MAME on it, coin-ops free, emulators for Super Nintendo, Master System, Mega Drive, Genesis, 3DO, 32X, and so on and so on and so on. Here we have the Retro Freak console that I have. This one, TurboGrafx accessories. This is the this came as a bundle actually with the PAL version of the TurboGrafx 16. There is, if I'm not mistaken, there's the power supply inside, and also some other stuff that I can't remember anymore. Yeah, and there are some more boxes here in the back. Here we have an USB Competition Pro controller, which I got from my brother. Thanks again. Video cartridge for the Philips CDI. And here in the back, those are wireless controllers, those for the 3DO. Here we have the video expansion for the 3DO FC10, and in here in this box are video goggles. So let's continue to those two showcases. Yeah, here in this showcase we have in the back Kenshin Dragon Quest, the plug and play from Japan. Then here we have the TV tuner pack for the Sega Game Gear. Those are video goggles for the PlayStation 2. This is the PC version of Splatterhouse, perfect arcade port, which was only released in Japan. My Sony PSP. Yeah, T800 from Terminator. Turbo Express, the handheld version of the TurboGrafx 16, and yeah, this is a Xenomorph. Hello, hello my honey, hello my baby. Yeah, you know the drill. Yeah, a Xenomorph from Alien. And here in the back we have two Gameboy Advanced Sp handheld systems. The one in the back, yeah, this is the Zelda version, and this one right here, this is the later version of the Game Boy Advanced SP with the model number AGS 1/101, I guess it is called, because the older versions only had a front light and the later versions have a front and a back light. They look, the games look pretty awesome on those systems, so this was the main reason why I had to get one. Duke Nukem Forever for the Xbox 360, the special edition or whatever you would call it. Here in the back, a boxed Atari Lynx Model 2. Here we have Hollywood Poker Pro for the Commodore Amiga. Atari Lynx Model 1, and here we have the Sega Multi-Mega, a combination of the Sega Mega Drive and Sega Cd. Yeah, here's another Dreamcast game, and this is something that is really special to me. This is a joystick. Yeah, it's sealed, but it's not original sealed. I don't think this is the original plastic on it. I think someone resealed it. And what's so special for me is that this is a joystick that was made by the company Amiga. This was from the time where the Amiga company was not owned by Commodore, and this was at a time where they were designing the Amiga 1000, and while they were designing the Amiga 1000, they made some money by creating joysticks, and this is one of those joysticks that they made. That's the reason why it's special to me. It's not super expensive, it's not super rare or anything, but to me personally, because I love the Amiga or the Commodore Amiga system so much, this is really special to me because it's from a time where they were their own company and didn't belong to another company. But let's continue. Here we have the Lord of the Rings plug and play. Here we have Resident Evil 5th anniversary DVD. This was, if I'm not mistaken, this was only given out to reporters at some convention or press conference or anything. Here we have the Model 2 of the Tiger Gamecom. Here we have a Sega Game Gear. Then here we have an original Nintendo Game Boy inbox, Fallout 3. There are some Amiga and Commodore 64 games in the back, nothing fancy. Here we have Invisimals, still sealed. This is an accessory for the Sony PSP. In the back we have Dragon Wars for the Commodore 64. Then here we have a boxed Game X Color. Then here we have two Sega Nomads, the handheld versions of the Sega Genesis, and the left one is the one that I modified with a new screen and also with a region switch, and the right one is completely original. Here in the back we have two of those play around double-enders, the more or less erotic / porn games for the Atari 2600 with Bachelor Party and Gigolo, and this one is Beat 'em and Eat 'em and Lady in Waiting. Okay, let me close this, then we can continue. Down here I have more of my consoles. Sega Master System Model 1, whoops. PC Engine Core Graphics Model 1. This is the second version that was made of the PC Engine. Nintendo GameCube, Neo2ct Model 1, Mega Drive Model 1 with the Mega CD Model 2. Here we have an Amiga CD32. This is the floppy disk drive, aftermarket floppy disk drive for the CD32, and I also have here in the back the TF328, I guess it's called, expansion that was made and released a couple of years ago, which basically is the same thing as the original expansion, the SX1, if I'm not mistaken. Here we have another. This is my very first Microsoft Xbox that I owned. Here we have the big PlayStation 2. Or the fat version, I guess it's called, of the PlayStation 2. This one right here. Here we have the Philips CDI, the 210 version. This is the most sold version of the Philips CDI, and here on the bottom or down below we have a lot of flight sticks and joysticks. Most of them are 9-pin joysticks, so they work on the Commodore 64, Commodore Amiga, and so on and so on. This flight stick on the left side is for the PC. There in the back, the white one, this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the NES flight stick, and this one right here, the Mad Catz flight stick, this is for the Nintendo 64. Here on the right side we have one of those arcade controllers, original controllers actually, of the Neo2ct AES. Then here is the 3DO arcade controller or arcade stick. Here in the back I have some joysticks in big box, let's call it like that. NES Advantage and the arcade stick for the Super Nintendo. Then here we have PlayStation 1, 3DO FC10, Atari Jaguar, Philips CDI from Grundig, but I don't remember. It might be the 470. I actually don't remember the model number on this one. JVC XI. This is a version that combines the Sega Genesis and Sega Cd. Here we have a Dreamcast. Here we have a Model 2 of Sega Mega Drive with my 32X on it. Neo2ct CD Model 2, and here we have Super Nintendo and a normal NES or Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay, and here we come to the last stuff that I have. This is kind of a, I don't know what you call it, kind of a memorandum, I would say, of one of my favorite Laserdisc games of all time, Firefox from Atari. And down below here there's some, it's mostly PC stuff. Here I have one big box game collection for the Commodore 64. Mr. Burns Bubblehead, that's my better half, Mara. And down here is my PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16 and Neo2ct CD collection. Maybe I can show you a couple of those, because what's that? Fiend Hunter, Advanced something FG. This, if I remember correctly, is some kind of a Street Fighter clone. Farron's Quest, Dungeon Master, Murder Club, JB Harold's series. This is the same thing like the LD-ROM game, the laser active game that doesn't work, the Manhattan Requiem. It's from the same series. Avenger. I don't know the name of this one. Then here P47, Die Hard. Of course I have to show you this one. This is Strip Fighter. A Street Fighter clone with nudity. Salamander, War of the Dead, and what do we have here? Outrun, Operation Wolf, and so on and so on. Here are my TurboGrafx 16 games, some pretty cool ones that I hardly can get out. No, all perfectly in there. And this is my Neo2ct CD collection. If I do it like this, then I can show you a couple of those games. Aerofet 2, 3, Crossed Swords 2, Ninja Command, Magician Lord, Nam 1975, Neo Drift Out, and so on and so on. But maybe I can show you a couple of those TurboGrafx 16 games. Oops. Utopia 2, awesome game. Utopia 1, also awesome game. Victory Run, Dungeon Explorer, Keith Courage, genau. Power Golf, amazing! No, I actually never played it. Legendary X, also pretty cool game. Bloody Wolf, yeah, Air Song, Kadash. I mean, you can read those. Splatterhouse, also very cool. Yeah, it came from the desert. This was actually the only reason why I bought or why I started collecting for the TurboGrafx 16, because I'm also a huge fan of the It Came from the Desert games, which started on the Commodore Amiga. And yeah, when I heard that this was also released for the TurboGrafx 16 on CD, I knew I had to get one of those systems, and that's the reason why I started collecting for this system. Okay, now. And here in this first drawer I have my Nintendo games where I only have the cartridge and where I don't have the box. Also some cool games in there. Metal Gear Solid, the first one for instance. And here are my cartridge only Super Nintendo games that I have. Pilot Wings, Star Wars 1, 2 and 3 if I remember correctly. Star Wars, Spider-Man, Castlevania 4, Lord of the Rings, and so on and so on. Some adapters. And yeah, I don't know why, but here we have a Neo2ct CD controller, and here we have my Nintendo Virtual Boy games where I only have the cartridge. If I can get them out. Nestor's Funky Bowling, Tennis, Waterworld, Red Alarm, Teleroboxer, and the last one, Galactic Pinball. Oops. Okay, and in the last drawer, yeah, here I have some Atari 2600 games where I only have the cartridge, and this is my cartridge collection of the Sega Game Gear, Olympics Gold, this is Robocop 3, Sonic the Hedgehog, Terminator, Dracula, Dragon Crystal, and so on and so on. Two of my, yeah, I only have yeah, Atari Jaguar cartridge only games, Cybermorph and Kazumi Ninja. And this is the last Famicom cartridge that I have. This is not an original game that was sold, but this is my third cartridge that I have of the Nintendo Famicom, sorry. And yeah, here I have a system card for the PC Engine, CD-ROM system card, and some more cartridge game. Yeah, Mega Drive, Genesis cartridge games like this one, Lithium Forces. Okay, then this one right here that you don't see, this is just a bag with my tripod, and this is the remote control of my old of this TV right here. And now we're back at my desk, and this was basically the whole game room tour of 2020. I hope you enjoyed the show. Maybe see you next time. Take care. Bye.